Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, and with my Carson impersonator co-host, we have Jojo. How you doing tonight, Jojo?
Oh, if I'm impersonating Carson, I'm just going to backdoor you this week and then go home next week. Is that okay?
If you ever did that when we were playing a game together, I actually would never speak to you again because
I've never speak to myself again.
I like hanging out with intelligent people, and like that's just like a really dumb move, and I can't get over it. I couldn't even watch this episode because I was just seething with frustration, anger, disgust, distaste, like all of the above. I was just like, I couldn't do it.
No, like all the joy has been sucked out of this season for me.
Did it.
The finale's when? Wednesday? A week from today? Great. Perfect.
Yeah, I want it done. I'm like, oh, I wish it was done on Friday.
Yeah, just crown Misha the winner and then we can get it over with.
I mean, that means I win the draft, so that's not so bad.
I'm okay with it. At this point, it's fine. Whatever. Or Cynthia, whatever, or Carson.
They're not winning it.
No.
It's only going to be Misha, maybe Todrick. So this is your first time on Reality Realness. Well, please subscribe and, like this video, ring that bell so you get notifications. We're just trying to build a people that are ready to be annoyed and irritated and frustrated about these reality TV shows that we think we love so much, but I think it's actually just torture.
Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we really put ourselves through this multiple times a week?
Well, I thought about it yesterday, and I was actually thinking that maybe I don't like the show anymore.
Big Bro or Celebrity Big Bro?
I don't know if it's both, but definitely Celebrity Big Bro, because I'm like, I really felt like I really don't enjoy the episodes right now. And like that's happens a lot of the seasons, is that like I stopped watching All Stars, like not stop watching, but like stop being as invested.
Yeah.
Like it seems like I always at the end of the season, it just tapers off into a direction that I can't stand. And I lose the desire to watch it. Like, I don't know what's the difference between now and like 10 years ago, but like I have no desire to see these seasons through because I end up hating everybody at the end.
Yeah, this is tonight's episode was the first episode I wasn't looking forward to. I was still looking forward to last eviction episode only because hanging with you, we were having a good time. It was great. And cheering on Shayna, all that good stuff. But, I completely understand what you're saying because BB23 was the same for me. The week that Tiffany was taken out, I was done. Tiffany and Hannah back to back. I rooted for Azza up until finale night, which was like, what was I thinking? Who was I? Just hoping to upset like the universe. Like Xavier might get third and give Azza the win, and the first Black female winner would be incredible. Yay! And even that was boom boom.
What is it though? It's so frustrating.
Me this year. Survivor, like I know Survivor pissed a lot of people off, but I loved every episode. I couldn't wait to watch every week. I still was excited. I was excited about Survivor, but Big Brother
Survivor, I didn't care at all who was the winner. I'm sorry, Erica. I know you're Canadian and you live down the street from me, and I should be supporting you, but they didn't show your journey, so I wasn't on your journey with you. Like I would only be super standing you because you're a female, minority that's from Canada. And I'm not taking away from your gameplay, but I didn't see it, so I can't really get behind it. Like I didn't care, and so I didn't care about Survivor either. And I think that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just outgrowing it.
The CBS just trying to piss us off with the editing, at least, because I think that might be the case.
Well, I think that they have lost what we want to see in a show. I think that's what it is. That's the only thing that makes sense. That they have a different idea of what they like in programming and how these shows go down. Yep. That they're doing it for themselves, maybe, as opposed to doing it for the audience. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Hi, Dolores. Thanks for joining us. Dolores says, Jojo, I'm 100% behind your statement. Give her the check. Misha. She's the
winner in my eyes.
Dolores says, "Hi, I'm not enjoying this episode as well. As a matter of fact, I muted it halfway." Yeah. Like I don't enjoy any I still like Carson's confessionals and his little remarks, but I've lost all happy. It sucked me dry.
Yeah, I just wanted to see Lamar rip up Todrick's cards, and that didn't happen in this episode.
They didn't even put it on the episode.
No.
And then the announcer calls it, "Oh, the sensational 6." No. Whoever wrote that is wrong.
The stupendous 6.
The disappointing 6.
We have to think of something with an S.
I know.
The sucky 6.
The sad 6. The sad sack 6.
The sad celebrity 6.
So bad. Yeah. Not bad. I'm so sad though. I just like
shit 6.
Oh, Natalie, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? So has Tamar reacted to Todrick, what he said about her? What has Todrick said about her?
So, okay, let me clarify. It started out really positive and then went, what? He said he loves Tamar. She's been on 2 of his albums. She's incredibly talented, but it's normally overshadowed by her personality. And he said that she is more like a drag queen in a woman's body.
What is he trying to say?
That is
he trying to say that she's good, or she's too much? He doesn't want to have her on his album because
there's still he's still friendly with her, but like had to throw in some sort of like drag queen reference because she has a big personality. It's like, no, she's just Tamar Braxton. That is who she is. And she absolutely slayed season 2 and made us love Celebrity Big Brother season 2. And Todrick's not living up to that rep. So, oh, yikes. Though I think she was also at his house this summer during BB 23.5. She showed up. She was hanging out.
I didn't hear that or see it. Ugh, I roll. Dolores also says, I adore Carson and his confessionals, but every time Todrick spoke, I couldn't take it. I know I can't take it. I can't take it. And it doesn't happen that often where there's somebody that I literally, their presence on camera makes me want to turn off my screen. But him, I can't listen to watch the feeds anymore because I don't want to hear what he has to say. I don't want to hear him and Misha gloating. I don't want to hear him thinking that he's funny. I don't want to hear any of his stories. I don't want to hear him humble bragging. Like I just don't want any of it. Mm-hmm. I'm not into it at all. Not at all. Hello, Matt Jetter. Haven't seen you in a while either. Thank you for hanging out here. We know that there's a lot of places to chat and be annoyed with this episode. So thanks for doing it with us. Did we all hear who won the veto? Because I did. I have not heard yet. So we're going to allow Jojo to tell me at the end of this episode who won the veto. So that'll be some excitement, kind of. I don't know if it's excitement. Okay, wonder what all the cookout who has stayed with Todrick have to say about how he's acting. Well, I believe that Hannah's still at his house. Hannah, when she was on Robin's podcast last week, said that she doesn't necessarily endorse how he's playing the game, but she will root for him and support him to get America's favorite player. So that's kind of what she said. So which to me says that she doesn't think that she's going to win because he thinks that her game's not very good. And that as a friend, she's still going to support his America's favorite player.
I mean, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, he has 4 votes against him, no matter who he sits next to. Cynthia, Lamar, Carson, Misha.
Cynthia won't vote for him.
No, sorry, I'm saying out of everyone remaining.
I mean, will vote. Sorry, Cynthia will vote for him. Sorry.
No, I'm saying everyone I'm naming will beat him at the end. Oh. Carson, Cynthia, Misha, Lamar, Todd. That's 5 people, and they're all going to beat him. Mm-hmm. As far as I'm concerned.
Also, Azza. I love Azza.
Azza came out and said, like, I'm not publicly supporting anybody but Cynthia. That's it. Her Twitter, she was like, I'm not saying anything. She did not mention Todrick's name. She's not like, oh, I'm yay Todrick. She very much has been like, no, just Cynthia. That's it. It's the only person I'm supporting.
She was on Let's Agree to Disagree, Jessica Milagros' channel last night. Yep. And she was kind of, in a roundabout way, still supporting Todrick, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so it was frustrating me a little bit. Like, I can understand that she didn't want to maybe bash anybody or say anything negative about somebody that she, has treated her well and like they've been hanging out with.
Yep.
I get that. But she also was being very diplomatic that it was like I didn't feel like hearing from her because it's like, well, you're not really giving me your true opinion here. So
But I wonder,
it bothered me.
this is awful to say, but I wonder like if they're a little worried about publicly saying anything. Because as far as I'm concerned, Todrick in that house, he would be a friend that would scare me. That I'd be like, how do I want him to want to cut me out of his life? Because I don't know how to navigate who he is and how he behaves. So it could very much be just them being like, I don't know how to deal with this because yikes.
Well, and then Tiffany had said on the winner's circle that, like, well, he's playing the game. He's playing the game. He's being cutthroat. He's playing the game. And that she'll have conversations with him outside of the house about, I guess, the how of it all. So yeah. I guess if it's your child or your friend, you kind of just let them do whatever and then reprimand them later. But I don't know. It's bothersome.
If nobody asks, I have another thing to say about Todrick later. But I hope someone brings it up so we can chat about it. Hi, Travel the World.
Hi, Travel the World. Of course, he has to say that she's staying at his place for free. Wait, is that what you're talking about, Jojo?
No. I'm sure someone will say something. Natalie will say something soon. They'll be like, "Oh God, Toddy."
Wait, who has to say that she's staying at his place for free?
Tata.
She has to say that because okay, sorry, I misunderstood what you said. Got it. Yes, I mean, like she is staying at his house, so she has to look like she supports him, and be very diplomatic about it. But it's just annoying to watch because this is because of them. Like. Don't think it's a chance for Aaron. No. Like the people that are in the running for that are Lamar and Shayna, I would say.
Yeah, Carson maybe.
I think he's out of that, personally. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie Dophie.
Are we getting the challenge CBS?
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Or we are. Yes, we are. Yeah, that's a long ways away. A long ways away.
They have to film in March.
For CBS, the challenge? I thought it was airing in the summer.
Yeah, no, I think they're filming in March.
So Natalie says, I'm sick of hearing about Shayna. Yes. Stop talking about her. She's not there anymore. Absolutely. Yeah. They have no material. They have no personality unless they're bashing someone.
Yeah.
They don't have any game or strategy.
They go around and around in circles with their conversations about who they're talking shit about.
No game strategy, just like bashing other people to make themselves feel better. It's just annoying. Yep. So CBS dropped a lot of news yesterday, and most of it features a challenge and the 4 to 5 spinoffs. Yes, that's true. Which, like, I don't really care about until they have a cast list. Like you know what I mean? It's just too okay. Yeah. I don't think I'll enjoy it, to be fair. Like the challenge, I like the challenge because of how it's built, starting with the Real World and Road Rules. Yep. So if it's just going to be people like that's been on a CBS show, I don't know if I'm really excited about that.
Fair enough.
Personally. So, yes, I heard Tiffany say that, but I wonder if he would say to her about her own child if she would feel the same way. Absolutely. But this is the thing that Tiffany has kind of disappointed me to a certain degree, because yes, I do appreciate anybody that's willing to not hold a grudge and let things go, but she didn't go back and watch any of her season to understand why people were frustrated with Big D and the things that Big D had said about her. And she never went back and watched what Kylan had said about Xavier's nephew.
Yeah.
And so it's really frustrating that she's not fully armed with all the information because she's choosing not to take a look there. And so right now, her perspective of things, I don't really agree with because it's not full. It's not 100%.
Yeah, I don't watch the Winner's Circle because I cannot stand Derek and Cody. But
I just wanted to see what Tiffany said, so I just watched it for her specifically.
Fast forward. Oh, Tiffany segment, perfect. Done. Great. So I haven't heard her exact thoughts, but she probably just doesn't want to talk crap about Todrick publicly anyway.
I get that, but she could say something around the behavior. you know.
Yeah.
Hi, Anna. Thank you for joining us. So Oz's staying at his house too. I'm not sure. It didn't look like she was at his house when she did the podcast last night, but I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't be surprised. Hi, Adrian's Secret. So
Yes,
Todrick casually slandering everyone, including his mom. Is he okay? His mom is like actually like supporting him on Twitter. Someone was saying something about him and like it wasn't even that bad. And she's like, "Don't come for my son."
She actually did a tweet today or yesterday saying, "Is Lamar
Oh, that's what it is.
still rehabbing? Like, stop being a bully or something to that effect." And
Like-
then Todrick today talked crap about his mom.
What did he say?
He said something about like how his mom really wants to help him in showbiz, but like she won't educate herself, so he's just trying to get to the next level himself and like can't hear her out. It was just like, oh my God, no one is safe with Todrick. He is that type of friend that just talks about, I bet he talks about every single friend behind their back. There has to be something that he can say to someone else about them.
Sorry, Hannah's staying at Todrick's place for free, so she has to support him. Yes, totally get what you're saying, Dolores. I don't know if Ozzy is though. Has Cynthia and Todd smoothed things over? I have not been watching the feeds. I mean, was the fight even real? Maybe it was a fake fight. Like I don't even understand the logic behind a lot of things that have happened in the last week. Like I thought that the fight that I saw in the feeds was pretty gross.
Yeah.
And they treated Shayna worse for doing absolutely nothing than they treated Trod, who actually did something.
Yeah.
And I can't understand their logic and their rationale behind how they choose to treat people.
Yeah, if I've ever fought with someone as intensely as Todd and Cynthia fought, I don't think I've spoken to them again. And even if it was just for them to like take aggression out and they used each other and they spoke about it afterwards, like, hey, sorry about that. It was just felt like fighting. Who knows? But that was not cool.
Not cool at all. Hi, JL. So it'll be too many serious people. Give us fun drama. What are we talking about?
Everything.
As someone who talks a lot of shit about people, I only talk about people I strongly dislike and have a valid reason to dislike them. Shayna was just there and they bashed her. Absolutely. Like I didn't see anything that she was wearing to be inappropriate. Is it just because her boobs are big? You know what I mean? Like, is that why she deserves to be bashed? But in Todrick's eyes, like she's wearing clothes that were approved by the network that she could wear in the house. She's wearing workout gear with a crop top. What is wrong with her wearing that as a person?
Well, I mean, we saw that with Whitney and Big Brother 23 and Big D. Gay men feeling like they can comment on women's clothing, which is hilarious to me because Todrick has built a career on literally wearing very feminine clothing and hair and working it, and everyone being like, yeah, you're slaying it, it's awesome. But then to shit talk that is kind of a joke. Also, she didn't want to be a role model. Like Shayna never came on the show being like, I want to be a role model for all these young people or young women.
Well, she does have a company or something that like mentors people going through the pageant system. So
sure, but
maybe like, that sense.
She was there to play Big Brother. She's a super fan. Like I don't think she ever once said like, I'm here to be a moral compass or be a role model. It's like, if you're saying that, yeah, own up to your behavior. But she wasn't doing anything so poorly that people should be judging or bashing her for it.
But I really think it's because she has big boobs. Because if Misha was wearing a crop top and leggings to work out or wear around the house, like I don't think that he would be saying that she was dressed inappropriately.
Yeah.
And like I don't care what people wear at all. Like like the sluttier the better. Like who cares?
Yeah,
but like even in Todrick's new video, it's like him laying down and his whole bare ass is there. Like it's his whole bare ass, and he has a problem with a crop top or short shorts or whatever.
He's got a problem. Yes, he's got many problems.
This man's making me mad. So Travel the World says it was nice to see more about Todd tonight, getting his head of household and his family, and his letter was so sweet. But I'm rubbed the wrong way by Todd. Okay, let's get into this episode before we get back to these comments. So they showed the Lamar clip again, which I thought was funny, where he's just like, this like nail is like for his hour long or his like 45-second long like thinking process about who to vote out.
Longest vote in history. Though I do think he struggled voting out Shayna. I think that's really what it was.
Of
he
course,
didn't want to do it.
Well, and he was like kind of thinking like, is anybody else going to be doing it? No, let me go vote with the House. Like I get that. And like if he didn't vote with the House, then he would have somebody pissed with him. So, but then he still tells her in the end that like he was hemming and hawing because he was considering voting out Misha.
Loved it.
Me too.
His chaotic energy is beautiful.
The first mention of Shayna was right after the opening credits, where Todrick gets to say she confirmed her classlessness. I'm like, she's not classless.
No,
she's petty, and I like it. I like that petty shot at the end. Even though she said it with Julie, she's like, I don't have any control of what people do, but like he can sweat. And I don't know if it was a lie, but I did see a tweet that said that Todrick went complaining to production about that and saying that it's unfair that she might have any influence on the jury.
Welcome
and so
to
if he doesn't win, he's going to blame Shayna.
100%. 100%. Also, Shayna noticed on her way out that he was dancing and like singing the fact that she was evicted, and that's what pissed her off enough to say what she said. She was like, I was gonna go out quiet and just like hug who I wanted to hug, leave, and like make them feel like, oh, I guess like we're not cool. And then when she saw him dancing, she thought, no, I'm gonna make him sweat. This is my last like.
If Todrick was dancing on my way out the door, I might have to have someone restrain me. Like I would be very angry.
Water bottle to that face. Expel me. Asterisk next to my name. Expel me.
Right? Well, but then we would want your vote still, though, unfortunately. But because like if
water bottle open, is that still assault? Throwing water in someone's face?
I'm not sure what the assault classifications
are.
I'd
have to check with production before my eviction. What is considered assault and what is not? What can I do? Can I cut someone's hair? Is that assault? Yes, I believe so.
Ooh,
like here's your
terrible haircut.
Yeah,
deserves some bangs. So even Carson though was just disappointing me. He's like, well, it was sad to see Shayna go, but like she did betray us, and I was just like, she did not betray you in her actions. She may have betrayed you in the fact that she was playing only for herself when you feel as though that you have to play in some sort of team.
Yep.
But she was playing in her own team. And when she was doing things, it was benefiting her and you.
Yeah.
So get over it.
I really just want Cynthia and Carson to go home so that they can see their mistakes. And be aware of them.
And then Cynthia being like, oh, with that exit, I've never been more sure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think she really does just go with the wind and will listen to anybody. She loves Todrick. There's no doubt about it. And Shayna said in one of her post-show interviews that Cynthia told her very early on that she wanted Todrick to win. So she said she found it very hard to work with Cynthia. She loves Cynthia, but she said it was very hard to work with her because she was aware that someone she was going to be targeting, Cynthia wanted that person to win. That's tough.
That is tough, especially in a team situation.
Yeah, he's not on your team, babe.
So this is where Misha has a confessional and she's like, I got Carson to turn on his own allies. And so at least Misha's at least spelling it out, right? And so I like that it's not because like to their faces, they're just like, oh, like she's just so bad. And then they're taking credit in the diary room. So I'm just happy that they're taking credit because if anybody comes out, they'll be like, oh, they know what they actively chose to mislead and misrepresent what the situation was in order to get Carson to turn on his allies. So
I don't think Todrick thinks that way. I do think Todrick, yes, he knows that he manipulated the situation, but he's continuously said that, like, I protected her. I wanted to work with her. She's the one that she did that, playing the victim as per usual. But I do think he has blinders on. And if he's sitting in that final two chair, God help him. That'll be fun in itself. That'll be a good finale.
Anna G says, yes, I unfollowed Tiffany on socials. I understand that she was the victim, but it was like watching PTSD response. Do you think? Wait, what do you mean? The victim? What happened with Cynthia
just by,
or
like,
with Tiffany?
Probably Kylan, Big D, even Xavier.
Oh, watching the episodes back would be a PTSD response.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess it would be fine, but it's not right, because now she's somebody that we're turning to for their opinion, and she doesn't have all the facts. It's kind of like, I can't watch recaps when people don't watch the feeds. Right? Like, yeah. I don't, like, you don't know what's going on. So, like, how can I care about what you have to say?
Yeah.
It's uninformed. So, yeah, I agree with you, Anna. Totes agree. Yes, Sophie, you do have a chance, sort of, in the draft.
You do?
Sophie has Lamar left on their draft, so there is always a chance.
I think I'm the only person with no chance, but I'm okay with that.
You have
Todrick.
Left? Oh, I mean, you have a chance, but no chance. Don't want a chance. So how was Taylor Swift friends with Todrick? I do want to know that. Like, is it a fake friendship? How did this all go down?
I'm pretty sure he's just very convincing and can,
play like, oh my God, like, fun gay. Like, let's, like, kiki.
I will say, I do believe that he's a hard worker, and I do think that he's talented with certain things that he does. So his talent might be enormous, and I think Taylor appreciates talent, and she loves the LGBT community and, like, was having fun with him, I'm sure, and, like, his friends and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure they've had good times together, but I doubt she's sitting at home watching Celebrity Big Brother and seeing how wild he is. The Todrick exposed party.
I don't think
#.
so.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so Agent Secret says there's a difference between supporting someone that Twitter dislikes and posting a video of yourself screaming when this person that shall remain nameless, Todrick, doesn't get backdoored. I saw that video. Did I send it to you as well? I may have.
I don't know. Maybe.
Have you seen it?
No, I'm trying to read what it says. There's a difference between supporting someone that Twitter dislikes and posting a video of yourself screaming when this person that shall remain nameless doesn't get backdoored.
Let me just show you the video. It's so maybe I should do it on here. Hold on.
Yeah, split screen. Share screen.
Share screen. Okay, I'm gonna find this video. It's so irritating because it's performative in my books. And so this video came out. So when Shayna won the veto, and that originally the plan was to backdoor Todrick, and so we were all excited when Shayna won that veto that it was going to happen. And this is the reaction when she did not use it. Okay, hold on.
Oh, the reaction from Kylan and
Hannah and somebody else. Oh, you saw it. Oh, well, I'm like looking for it now. Oh boy, the only places where I posted it, like, maybe I posted to, like, Sarah. I don't think, because, like, I posted it in my class of 2020 group, and, like, there's like a million messages. So hold on, I found it though. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Okie dokie.
Also, Secret Agent, I love your photo, your profile photo.
Who is it? I can't tell.
One of the twins, Lala and Lulu.
Oh, I say it's Lulu. I don't know.
It's Lalu.
Yeah, Lulu.
The third sister.
One of the twins.
Yeah, she's a sim. Lalu.
Lula. Okay. Êtes-vous prête? Can you see it?
Yes.
Hopefully you can hear it. Yes, the volume's on.
Absolutely lovely, but I'm deciding to keep Chris's nominations. Yes! They're absolutely lovely, but
We'll just watch it again.
Chris's nominations. Yes! They're absolutely.
Could you hear it? I couldn't tell if you could hear
Yeah.
it or not.
Who else is there with them?
I don't know who that other person is. But yes, I thought it was so performative. There's just like, obviously you're staying in his house, like you're not going to be bashing him. I get that. But they positioned the camera to get this reaction. They must have re-recorded it. You know what I mean? When he didn't go home, they probably re-recorded it to look like they were supporting him.
Embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. So then we see Lamar talking to the group about like the fact that he wanted to vote out Misha, and was making eyes at Todd to like maybe vote with him, but like no matter what, Carson would have been the tiebreaker if that was the case, correct?
Yeah.
Or was it only 2-1? It was 4, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2-2. It would have been a tiebreaker, and I don't think Todd would have went after Misha at all at that point. I think Todd would bring Misha to the end.
Which is another bonehead move. I don't get what the appeal is, unfortunately.
No.
So Todrick does ask Lamar, like, what took you so long in the diary room? I was like, man, like, you are just baiting. It's so annoying. And Lamar doesn't even care. He's just like, yeah, I was debating between whether I wanted to keep Misha or Shayna. I'm good friends with Shayna. I like her a lot. And Misha like kind of storms off, pissed off that he would even think of maybe voting her out.
I will say, I actually thought Misha handled it pretty well because she didn't blow up, and but she did say like, "I got to walk away before I say something stupid." And I was like, "That's actually really smart. Like, take off, get out of here."
But why are you so mad at someone like potentially wanting to vote you out because you're a big threat? Like, what?
I think only because she's been pushing the Athletes Alliance to Final Four, and was probably like, "Oh, like this is the first time that someone's actively come after her besides Carson winning HOH." So. Admitting to it out loud anyway. Misha's been well protected this entire game, and she's been she was like the number one threat walking in the house. Like, I don't understand how everyone's just playing for Misha's Mafia.
Every single round has benefited Misha's game.
Yeah.
So it's this has been the Misha season,
Takeover.
the Misha show.
SmackDown.
And all I said was, I hate reliving this idiocy. It's so frustrating. It really is. So they made a deal with Carson for 1 week. And like even that, so Carson's the head of household. When you're head of household, you're supposed to kind of make the deal, set the tone. Like people are supposed to be groveling to you, giving you like deals all the time. And like Carson's begging to, well, like, will you please keep us safe? Like he said he did not use that in favor for himself at all. No. Any capacity.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a smidge.
Not a smidge. So what did you think about this head of household competition? I actually really like it. It was the HOH Club where they're going to be endorsing a signature drink.
I thought it was fun. I think it's great to like test different senses and test people's abilities. This is a really open field. Like some people can be great at it, some people can't. So I liked it. I liked seeing something different on the show.
Yeah, definitely me too. And like, I love the fact that they're making Todrick eat gross stuff because he's already a picky eater.
Yeah.
And so the fact that like he has to eat all these nasty things, like I definitely enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed Carson like being so positive and like upbeat about like these nasty drinks.
Yeah.
He was very funny.
I really love Carson. I'm just disappointed in him as a game player because I thought he would be so much better.
He ruined the season.
Yeah.
And I don't know if his like remarks are going to save it. Nope. So they have to guess what the extra ingredient is in these gross cocktails. So the first one is the Todrick Collins. And it's raspberry, sauerkraut, lemongrass, and ginger beer. And Todd gets this. Impressive.
Yeah.
Then we have the sleeper hold old fashioned. And I can't even read my writing. There's root beer. Oh my God, I can't read my clam juice. Is that what that says? And oh my God, I need glasses. I can't read my own writing.
Where are my glasses? I can't
Where are
help.
my glasses? So root beer, clam juice, onions, and chili oil, and barbecue sauce. I was like, okay, Todd with the tongue, with the palate. So then the next one is a La Margarita, which I thought was a very cute name. And it's lime, pinto beans, spinach, anchovy, and rosemary. I mean, rosemary has a very distinctive taste. So
yeah, I think I would struggle with with the thyme, rosemary, bay leaf area.
rosemary, and
Yes.
thyme.
Mm.
I know what rosemary tastes like because I worked at this catering place, and they always every Christmas had rosemary mashed potatoes, and like this, and like 2 sprigs of rosemary across like with the garnish, and so like I know what rosemary tastes like for sure.
Oh, love it.
But sage, I don't know if I'd know for sure. Parsley, I would know for sure.
I'd probably just double guess on all of them. I like anything that's obvious. Like, yes, ginger beer. I can understand the taste, but like nutmeg,
barbecue
cinnamon,
sauce. Oh, I might be able to figure it out. That's like smoky mesquite kind of flavor. I love though when Todrick was giving out the La Margarita, and he's like, such a nice shade of puce. I did laugh out loud. Then there's Todka Martini. That's clever. Is grapefruit, potato, oat milk, sage, and vegan fish sauce. That's so rude.
Oat milk. Was it goat milk or oat milk?
Oat.
Oh, I had to drink goat milk for like 2 weeks when I was a kid because they were testing me for allergies, and I'll never forget it. Just don't even try it. If you've never tried goat milk, don't do it.
I won't be trying it. it. And chocolate they put in there, jerks. Todd and Cynthia did get that one. And on the rosemary, funny enough, Lamar got the rosemary. He figured that out as well, which I thought was like pretty impressive. And then we have the tequila Sunrise, cute, which was tomato, raspberry, black licorice, bologna, and garlic. Todd definitely got that one.
Yep.
And with 5 points, he was the new head of household. He got them all, unless there was more that they didn't show us. But I'm impressed.
I was very impressed.
Like he got all of them.
I didn't see that coming at all. I've thought of Lamar and Todd as both non-entities in winning any challenges, and Todd got his win, so good for him.
Definitely impressive, and a big ha-ha, Carson, for your HOH. So you go and make a deal with somebody, and you didn't make a deal with everybody in the house in case someone else won head of household. Like, you were head of household. You could have gotten a deal out of Todd.
Yeah. Or tried to. I mean, no one could have seen it coming, but that's Big Brother. Expect the unexpected.
They needed Shayna there to be like, don't make a bonehead move.
Yeah.
So Laura says Todd made a statement to Lamar about Shayna, and he made some sort of comment about getting the white blonde girl out. Lamar was unhappy about it. Yes, it was very distasteful, like what he was saying. He's like, do you want, like, in this climate, do you want a white blonde girl winning this season? And he's like, well, what does that matter? And he's like, well, it doesn't. He's like, well, why are you bringing it up? And he's like, well, I'm not. I'm just saying. It's like,
he's like, Misha's a white girl. Like, what's your issue? She's your final two, clearly.
So Natalie asks, Todd is the next charger for Misha and Tardrick. Well, next. Now the time is now. You have the power now, Todd. Now is the time to make these moves. Totally agree here, Sophie. So Shayna didn't get to deserve to get made fun of. Everybody in that house, and Carson was dumb in believing Todrick and Misha. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Jojo, I'm sorry you have Todrick on your draft. Do you want Christy?
Loud. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you.
Let's throw a tomato at him. Oh my God. People, his stocks were pretty low yesterday.
Oof.
They look like fools, and now they will feel like fools later. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. To nice some apologies and some comeuppance and some embarrassment. I'm excited for that. So how brilliant would it be if Misha gets to pick who for the final two and she does not pick Todrick? The look on his face would be priceless. Don't make me horny.
Please, Dolores, don't. Stop.
Dolores, it's like the sexiest thing you've ever said. I meant the victim of the cookout as she was. Yes, no, I totally understand what you're saying now, Anna. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's annoying. Being Kiki, Chantele, you crack me up. Well, thank you. I do my best. I totally respect Lamar for the I don't give a crap attitude and just saying what's on his mind. Absolutely. It's refreshing. Like I'm glad that Lamar is not allowing himself to be like shivered by the hate culture that's in the house.
Yeah.
Does Shayna know what Todd said about her? Well, she did. Oh, I haven't seen any Shayna interviews. So did she mention anything?
She hasn't watched anything, and everything so far has just been hearsay. So she hasn't watched any episodes, and she hasn't been online up until this morning. But she looked great. She sounded great. She didn't mention her her boyfriend at all. Talked about how happy she was to hear from her kids and be at her house on Valentine's Day and like be with her pets. But
I want to be friends with Shayna now.
Love her. I like just she was my winner.
I want her to. I want to play a game with her and be like, well, we'll play with you so you know how a good game feels to play.
Yeah, she said she'll play again. Like she had an amazing time. She was really like her exit interviews were great.
Well, I think because she just realized that they're just ding dongs and that everybody's on her side about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if she wins America's Favorite Player, so I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but they get $100,000 to show up, like an appearance fee, and then they get, I believe, like $5,000 every week that they stay in the house, and then they get, obviously, if they're final two, the $250,000 for the winner, and probably 25 for the runner-up, or something like that. Maybe 50. And so if she gets 25 for America's Favorite Player, it's almost as if she got second place anyways.
Yeah.
So she's probably not going to do too badly.
Yeah, she'll come out of this with some change.
Yes. And people supporting her because she's like the huge underdog at this point.
Yeah.
So I was annoyed, obviously, that Todd won because now Misha and Todrick didn't have to either keep their deal or break their deal. I would assume that they would have figured out a way to break their deal. And so like put both
no doubt
Lamar and Todd up on the blog and be like, we're just using it as a pawn. One of us will win the veto. We will backdoor Carson. You know, that's what I think that they would have ended up doing.
I think they would have put up Carson and Cynthia and just been like, sorry.
Wow, you're even like you have less faith in them than I do. Okay.
Yeah, I think they would have just agreed to do it. But like, sorry, bye. One of you's going.
So because Todd won this HOH, the HOH that is for to endorse a signature drink, he has his own cocktail called the Ho-Ito. And there's a mascot that they're using for promotion. So for 24 hours, he had to choose two of his fellow house guests to be linked together to promote his signature cocktail. He chose Lamar and Todrick, which is my favorite thing about this episode and this week.
Yeah, like, why couldn't Lamar have been shitting the bed the last 24 hours? It was just what we needed. Like, I was on such a downer from Shayna leaving, and then to see these forced two that do not really care for each other, don't want to be in the same room, like their private time, and they're forced to be linked up for 24 hours. It was amazing.
And Todrick did say one thing that didn't make me cringe was the fact that he's like, oh, it's a Big Brother rite of passage to wear a costume. Legit, like I would be obsessed. Like I would have to wear a costume if I was on Big Brother. So he got something right.
Like I would have loved to love Todrick this season. Going in, I was like, oh God, like it's Todrick. God, I hope he does a good job. Like I hope he wins us all over and we all love him. But I think Carson, as soon as he saw Carson, like maybe his insecurities just popped out, and he really has been showing people
True
who he
colors.
is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I love
bad.
Lamar doesn't want to be a mascot. He's the player.
Yeah.
Like he wants
Yeah.
to play he wants to be in the game. He doesn't want to be
Clearly.
a mascot.
God.
I love you, Lamar. So we got some more gloating from Todrick. He's so proud of his strategic move that he made last week to get Carson and Cynthia to go against their ally Shayna. And I was just like, ugh. Like you try to make us believe that it was a strategic. Yes, it was strategic, but like you're forgetting the fact that it was kind of uncalled for, the how of it all, and it was a little bit slimy, a lot slimy. So Misha and Todrick are chatting, and they're just so happy, like about the fact that they don't have to keep their deal now because it was only a 1-week deal, and it wasn't even a Final Four, and they're just like they're just so proud of themselves. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't gloat when I'm playing checkers with a toddler and I win.
No. Yeah.
That's what it feels like. They're playing with a baby that doesn't know how to play the game. And you'd be like, I won, I beat you. I'm mastermind strategist. Like,
I tricked you, sucker.
tricked you. You believed me. Like, no.
No.
So it's funny though that Todrick says at one point that like he doesn't like being mean, like he doesn't want to put up Cynthia and all this stuff. And I'm like, you don't like being mean, but you literally told a woman on camera that you wanted to slit her throat in the streets, but like you don't want to be mean. Okay. But he does decide that he wants to keep Cynthia off the block and that maybe he needs a pawn. And so he's saying this to Todrick and Lamar as they're chained together in the bathroom. And from what I remember from the feeds, like Todrick thought that he was suggesting that Todrick would be a pawn. But then as soon as Todd said it was Lamar that was going to be a pawn, Todrick was like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. So good. So good. And for someone that doesn't want to be mean, he's doing it so that Carson and Lamar will be on the block. If Carson wins the veto, you'd be like, don't use it, or else your girl's going to go up and she's going to go home.
Yeah.
And so so is blackmail not mean?
In his mind, maybe not, but it is. It's a cruel way to go about it. Just put up Cynthia and Carson straight up. Sorry.
Exactly.
Like, just bonkers to me.
It is bonkers.
But so was Carson last week was also bonkers. So
we're in a madhouse. Absolutely.
I think the only successful HOH besides like Chris Kirkpatrick getting
none of them were successful
except for Misha, I guess. She did want Teddy out initially. She got her way.
But that whole situation upset the apple cart, right? Like that's like if Shayna had just made it a 4-4 tie and made Misha
pick,
vote down the middle, they wouldn't have all this leverage against her.
Yep. And that's her. And I thought at the moment, I thought it was great for Shayna. I'm like, yeah, vote with the house, perfect. Fly through the middle, you're doing great. And it wasn't until 72 hours ago that wham hit the fan.
Oh, Natalie just showed me what happened. Okay, let's just get to it then. Okay, so who wants to see my head of household room? Funny enough, Misha decides to go up to the head of household room. She wasn't that upset this time around. Roll. Also, they did not show Lamar tearing up Todrick's cards.
The best part of yesterday is incredible.
So good.
It drove Todrick nuts for hours. He was talking about it in late night. I'm sure he spoke about it today. I was hoping Lamar would go and rip up the cards that Misha was playing with before. Who wants to see my HOH room? Like, is it happening? Is he going to rip up more cards? Is this happening?
I would love it. I would love it. So it was a really sweet moment when we saw a bit of it as family. We forget that everybody has people that they're playing for. And so it was nice to humanize and make Todd seem like a loving father, husband, whatever, family man. Seem
like a loving person. Yeah,
that's true. I'm trying to find, there was a comment about that, but I can't find it anymore. And so, yeah, it was nice to see that. It was nice to see something different. Like, I don't care about Misha's head of household room. So it was nice to see a new room.
Yep.
100%. So, yeah, basically, Todd was solidifying that he wants to spare Cynthia. He wants to have a pawn. And he tells this to Carson. And Carson and Cynthia actually have a moment after they find out that Todd is not putting them both up on the block. And so Cynthia seems to have come up with the, oh my God, if I win the veto, I can save you, Carson.
What?
And we could both stay here together. There's a chance. There's a chance. And I'm like, do you know what? If you guys hadn't have gotten rid of Shayna, you got rid of Misha like you were planning on it, even if Todd won this, you would have had Shayna that would have been fighting for you guys, that would have potentially been able to take you off the block if she won a veto.
Yep.
So, like, I was just like, I'm happy that she actually had a realization of how to play the game a little bit. But like, oh, sister, poor thing. So then the nomination I saw, basically, you mentioned to me that everybody was wearing so many different colors at the veto meeting or the nomination ceremony. And it was like Carson was in like blue,
camo,
like, camo tie-dye type thing.
And Misha had like a pink hat, and Cynthia had like cheetah. And then like the lime green.
Todd just was wearing blue and khaki, but
so much going on. It was an assault on the senses.
Assault on the senses. Ooh. So that is pretty much
like assault. Assault on the senses.
Oh, I mean, it's tasteful though. Your assault.
Okay, I'll take it.
So that's pretty much it for the episode. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us as we basically bitched and moaned about this episode and how the season has gone down. So we appreciate you being here with us for that. If you want to jump out, we understand. We're going to talk about some spoilers and some things I believe that we haven't talked about that Shayna has said since she's exited the house. So if that's it for you now, goodbye. Make sure that you do us a favor and subscribe. La 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 la. We'll see you next time though. And on Friday, it will be broadcasting here, but Jojo and I will be joining Sarah from Nerdtainment to talk about, I guess it's going to be Carson's eviction, apparently. So I guess I can spoil that for you, but that's the spoiler. That's the spoiler because Natalie says that Misha won the veto. Bye, Carson.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you want the good news or the bad news.
Well, I saw this already.
I was going to say the good news is finale is a week away. And the bad news is Misha's got her third comp win.
Well, the good news is that Carson will most likely be out, so he will get to see the truth.
And Julie's going to tell him. Julie's going to tell him.
I hope Julie's like, so like, why did you had power? Why would you evict your ally?
Yeah, right away. She's going to be like, just so you're, I'm convinced. I'm 100% convinced that she will show him all.
Drag him.
Yeah, just drag him.
Well, like make him feel dumb about his mistakes. It's like she did smack Marcellus across the head when he made that bonehead move. So this is a bonehead HOH.
Oh my God, the worst.
Hopefully she's. I guess maybe like she'd have to like pitch the cards at his head because like they're 6 feet
so
apart.
far away, and they're just there's. She gets out the sanitizer with her cards. So some news today from the house. Misha actually came up with a great idea, and she wants to target Todd next.
So
she thinks Cynthia is going to be easier to beat. Lamar, she's like, let's do Todd, and Todd.
Oh, so she's worried about Shayna.
Yeah, so she's like, let's get rid of Todd next. Get everyone in on taking Todd out, and then we'll see what happens. But from here on out, I think it's a cakewalk for Todrick and Misha. No matter who wins what, they're pretty much fine.
Unless Lamar wins something, and then Misha will go.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we're putting all our eggs in Lamar's basketball.
Yeah, and Lamar also was talking about wanting to leave today. So, because he wants to see, but he wants to see his girl before he has to go and do something after Sled Big Brother. He wants some time. So they were even talking today, like, do you want to go instead of Carson? And then, yeah. I was just reading this. I didn't watch it, so I don't know like exactly what happened, but it was confusing, today's events.
Wowza. Well, whatever. I don't care, actually.
Not
It's
even
so
like a
annoying.
little bit. I'm so uninvested right now. I just want it over with. I just
I
want to
do
know who
want
I
it over
can.
it.
Yeah.
I want to know who to vote for. I want to know if America is going to get a vote. I always just like get these. I download an app so I can text from the US. So
Yeah.
I'll download like 5 of them. So at least I can do like 5 texts a day or whatever it is.
Gladly. I'll join
So
you.
that's
It's
what I'm
happening.
going to do.
Yep.
So is there any other tea, any other spoilers?
No, I mean,
what else did Shayna say?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of some things we don't know. She said her favorite people were Chris, Teddy, and both Chris's and Teddy. And then she stopped talking about Todd. She was really supporting Todd initially in some of her interviews and then kind of weaned off. And like they were asking her, she said she'll vote for the best the person who played the game the best, but also treated people with respect. And she said, right now, there's only one person I'm actively rooting against. And it's the same person that everyone else has talked about actively rooting against. So bring Todrick to the end and you win. That's the goal from here on out for everybody.
And so he's gonna feel like, oh my god, I got robbed. Like you're no robbed goddess, babe.
You're Big D in this situation. You lose to everybody.
Wow. And like if he was just a nice person, he could have won the game.
Hands down. I think like strategically he does have great ideas. It's how he executes them and how he talks about people and to people. He's constantly playing the victim. And as someone who like grew up getting bullied and is gay, I get like where some of that trauma comes from, but you have all of these incredible supportive systems around you that you could be using, and instead you're just internalizing everything and spreading out hate and conflict, and it's just kind of gross. So
yeah, he's definitely
would have loved to root for Todrick, but honestly, no, can't.
I'd have to say that when he used to like come and do some of the drag race where he was choreographing some of the shows or whatever, like the main stage stuff,
Yeah.
I remember being like, oh, I don't like how he choreographs and how he's kind of sassy with them, like just being kind of rude with people that aren't able to pick up some certain steps and be like, oh, you can't, like, oh, if you do it like that, like I can't even, like, and just there's some people that struggle with dance. Like maybe he's trying to do it out of like being a really hard choreographer and being sassy and being entertaining, but I found it unlikable.
No.
And I remember always just being like, I don't really love when he comes on to choreograph because he's just kind of like a little bit bitchy and it's not in a fun way.
I'm going to assume that he's going to lose out on a lot of Rue's phone calls for a while.
I don't know if I'm just making it up, but I thought I heard that Rue says like Todrick has no affiliation with Drag Race anymore.
Who?
Exactly.
I believe
exactly. Well, unless you have anything else to share or anything else you want to talk about this episode, or
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I'm just looking forward to Friday and
Friday will be fun though.
Watching Carson's reaction.
Friday will be fun. Hopefully Julie will do a good job on her interview because that's what I'm living for is that interview.
Can't wait. 100%.
That interview. Well, thank you everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. I'm going to go catch up with some other people having some recaps and being really annoyed about the episode. So I can't wait to do that as well. What are you going to do after this episode, Jojo?
Oh, I think I'm going to watch. What am I going to watch tonight in bed?
Amazing Race, ding dong.
Oh, you know what? I still haven't seen last week's episode. But I heard it was not a limb. So I'm like, I can miss it. It's fine.
Was it? Right.
Yeah. Wasn't someone saved again for like the bazillionth time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tonight, maybe I'll watch it tonight. I might finish Inventing Anna tonight. Have you been watching?
I haven't gone through it yet. It's on my list, but it might be a
really
Saturday
good.
afternoon deal.
Really good. And when you put your glasses on, I was like, Anna, is that you? Anna?
And then I speak in a very weird accent.
I watched her and Jimmy Kimmel. And she like talked about like finding that accent, and it was so fascinating. I'm like, yes, everything that you're saying makes absolute sense. Like, good for you, actress. Don't know her name.
I'm eating ribs for dinner. Ooh, finger looking good.
Ooh, you cannibal, you. Oh, ribs. Oh, wasn't ribs about the fight with Todd and Cynthia too?
Oh, and that's probably what their comment was, because he's like, I'm not making ribs for you anymore.
No.
He said Shayna owes him an apology for what?
Also, everyone's saying like, I've been saving this girl. Shanna won veto twice. She was saving herself. Like, she had
The only
nothing to
time
worry
she was
about.
saved was not being put on the block week 1.
Week 1, yes. She saved herself with Misha. She made a deal.
And she wasn't going to be put up in any scenario with Chris Kirkpatrick, and she said got vetoed the next time around. Yeah. So I don't know where it seems like the time that she could have used you saving her was when you threw her under the bus and sent her home. So.
That's exactly it.
Well, I love you. I love everybody in the chat. Who is everybody rooting for America's favorite player? So let us know in the comments if you're on board with me and Jojo and we want Shayna for AFP, or if there's somebody else. I can appreciate there's somebody else. Do you think that Misha will use the power of veto? Let me know in the comments and what you think is going to happen. All right. Lastly, told you to do this already, but just subscribe, like this video, leave it a thumbs up. It helps the channel out a lot. Helps that algorithm. Yeah. All right. Love you. Love everybody in the chat. I love everybody for watching. Thank you.